Welcome to Soapdish. Hi, Luann.
Hi, Mark. How are you doing this Friday?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Doing great. Doing great. We're getting ready to head out on a New Year's Eve cruise tomorrow out of Port Canaveral. Should be fun, and we can celebrate.
Have a good time. Week cruise, correct?
Week cruise.
Week-long cruise. Yeah.
Yes, a week-long cruise. Yes.
That'll be fun. How many stops do you have? How many ports?
We have 3 ports: Bahamas, Haiti, and Dominican Republic.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
And I've never done a New Year's Eve cruise, so I think it should be fun celebrating on Sunday evening, bringing in the new year.
Bet. Yeah, I bet it will be. Are you and Larry going to watch the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings New Year's Eve game?
Oh, of
They
course.
play on New Year's Eve.
Yes, and they
I
will
don't think
have.
so.
They'll have the football game on in the sports bar on the cruise ship. They usually do.
I'm sure.
And I know Larry will want to watch football, and I'm having a hard time picking who I think will win because both teams are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, they are. Right now they are. That's true.
But you and I have a soft spot for the Vikings, whether they let us down or not. Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's talk Young and Restless.
Oh, I'm ready to talk about them. It's been very good storylines, a very good week. So you get going on it.
All right, sounds good. So Phyliss continues to pursue Danny Romalotti, while he and Christine seem to be. I'm going to go back about a week. Seem to have a budding romance.
Yeah.
And Phyliss, out of the blue, I thought this was coming, but she kissed Danny. She just grabbed him and kissed him. And he kind of was into it for a second. And I thought, no, Danny, don't do that. And then he pulled away and he said, no, it's not going to happen, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he was thinking more clearly after that, but I think Phyliss just she wants to be in a relationship, as she likes the old feelings that Danny gives her, and she still thinks, well, hey, Danny and I have Daniel, and that keeps us close together. And I think she just wants to one up Christina too. And, so when Danny, like you said, was, coming in for the kiss too, when she kissed him, I think the reality of it is when, he pulled away and then Christine shows up at the door. And, you could tell Phyliss and Danny were both very awkward and a little sheepish of what had just happened, and Phyliss just being Phyliss, giving the look to Danny as she's leaving, like looking longingly at him. And so I thought that was interesting, and then how Danny, and I was wondering if Danny would admit it to Christine that Phyliss kissed him. And he did, which I thought that's a good way, at least for your relationship beginning with Christine.
Be honest,
you're being honest up front with her and not saying nothing about it. And he told her, and Christine said, well, how do you feel about it? He's like, well, no, I'm not interested. I want to be with you. And then Christine and Danny proceeded to go into a long kiss also.
Good explanation, Luann.
Yes.
You walked us right through that whole romance thing. That's interesting. And the comment I was going to make is Phyliss is one of these people that wants what she can't have. So it's kind of like, a guy that's attached or married or at least attached. That's what she would be attracted to. That's kind of right up her alley.
Right, it is. And she's going for, some people like to do that where it's the challenge to get it. Right. And then once you have it, it's like, well, no, I've got it. And I think that's for her, the excitement of the getting it, the challenge of it.
Right. Exactly. I used to be that way around Harley Davidson motorcycles.
Yes,
I had to have it. I had to have it.
I just have to have you. And then you went up and you gave it a big kiss. What you wanted is like, this is the one I want.
There were times that I'd go out in the winter and just sit and admire. After I cleaned my motorcycle, I'd just sit and admire it out in the garage.
It's very.
I'm sure you did too.
Yes, it's a very peaceful feeling where you can sit, especially after a nice long ride, and you come back and you enjoy a beverage of your choice, and you just sit there looking at it, and it's it's a beautiful bike.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, so let's talk about Nikki. So Nikki continues her drinking vodka. Nate, I was kind of waiting. I think you and I had talked about this too. I mean, it was only a matter of time until she gets caught because she was sneaking it everywhere. Lately.
Oh, she was. And there were several close calls for her.
There were. And this time she kind of got caught. And I actually rewound it, Luann, to see, did he actually see her, taking a nip off of the, I didn't think she did, but he acted like he saw her. So that's weird.
Yeah. Yes.
But, she's been nipping on this little
flask.
She's been carrying around in her purse. I was thinking to myself, Luann, that that little flask would last somebody that drinks like her about 2 sips. That'd be gone.
Yeah, because she takes pretty long drags on the.
Yeah, and there is much booze in those things. I mean, I know they look cool, but.
Yeah, maybe Nate, as a doctor in his past life, looks for those things, because I was surprised that he could see that on her, or had a feeling that something wasn't quite right. And knowing that they had something traumatic going on in their lives, even though he doesn't know all the details, he kind of felt like, I think Nikki has gone back to drinking and has a problem.
Right. Yep. So next, what Nate does is he goes and tells Victor. He tells Victor that he suspects that Nikki's been drinking again, and Victor at first is kind of. Oh, he's a little bit in denial, and then he, I think, starts to realize, based on things he's seen, that, I think that's right. So he ends up next. He ends up telling Victoria and Nick that I think your mother's drinking again, and they too are kind of no way. They're kind of in denial, but. I think everyone comes to kind of realize it. Yeah, I think she is. So.
Yeah, and I think Victor was first very defensive. He was defending Nikki. It's like there's no way. And then I think Nate, Nate said, I have no reason to badmouth Nikki. He said that's not my intention. He's like, but I think there's a problem. And I think as Victor was putting 2 and 2 together, and then he happened to see Nikki coming down the steps. As she saw Nate talking with Victor, she hightailed it out of there. And I think that was when Victor realized, I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, and I think the kids, Victoria and Nicholas, thought too, our mom's been really strong. She's been really working on not, drinking again. But then they had to admit, what Jordan did to her, with putting it, right in her veins. It was just, she's caught up in all of it again. And
that'd be problematic, I would think.
It's hard to break it. So, and then like you said, in your notes, you said, and then Victor went over and checked a bottle, and here there was water in it. So he knew.
I lost you for a second, Luann. I think I got you back.
Okay, you have me back.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. You froze for a second there.
Oh, did I? And you kind of froze too.
Yeah. Maybe you didn't see it, but I did. So next, Jordan ends up luring Nikki to this remote cabin. Nikki shows up, and she's drunk. I mean, she's clearly pretty drunk.
Yeah, she's slurring her words.
Yeah. And it was funny because, well, it's not funny, but Jordan ends up telling her, you're pathetic, and she's just slamming Nikki left and right. Yeah, you could tell she was getting and all this stuff. Yeah, she was. Jordan was getting enjoyment out of, putting Nikki down. Kind of like, I'm going to keep you down at this level. And it was interesting how she forced Nikki to come to her. She's like, you're going to give
give yourself up for your granddaughter. You know,
Right.
it's a trade. I'm wanting you for Claire.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Because, yeah, that's why she went to the cabin. I had to think about that for a minute. Like, why did she go there? And then it hit me that she had made that trade or, you know, proposal to Nikki, and Nikki did it. So,
Correct.
yeah.
Right.
All right, so eventually Jordan, I call her Crazy Aunt Jordan. So Crazy Aunt Jordan ends up pulling a pistol on Nikki.
I know.
And then Claire enters the room because we knew that we thought Claire was there.
Yeah,
And
because Aunt Jordan, you know, took her out of the hospital, and
Right.
when Aunt Jordan went to get Claire from the bedroom or wherever, what room, and then she was in that wheelchair, and you could tell she was still drugged out, and so you know, then Claire kind of comes to and sees what's going on.
Yeah. So she comes out, and after Nikki and Jordan had kind of tussled, Claire grabs the pistol and then points it at Crazy Aunt Jordan. And I thought Jordan was going to push her enough that she was going to shoot her.
Yeah.
But she
yeah.
didn't.
And I think because Nikki talked her down from doing that, and she said, "Don't do this because she's not worth it." And Claire said, "Well, we'll take care of all of our problems because she's been terrible to me all these years, and now what she's done to your family, and we could just get rid of this all." And Nikki said, "No, because you'd go to prison. No, don't do it. Don't do it."
Which, truthfully, she probably wouldn't. But, yeah, it's soap opera stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so they end up Nikki ends up hitting her over the head, right?
Yeah, well, then the one that really took her out was somehow Nikki got her and pushed her head into the fireplace, into the rock in the fireplace.
Knocked her out.
And knocked her out.
At least knocked her out, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
and
first
about
I
the
thought,
same time. Oh, go ahead.
No, first I thought that might have killed her because that's a
So did I.
Hard, but then she came to later.
Yeah, I thought too maybe they were going to kill her off right there, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then following this, Luann, then Victor makes his entrance because he's driving up there after they realize through the ex-son-in-law, you're better with names than me.
Cole?
Cole had been up there at that cabin as a kid, and that's how Victor kind of thought that's where they were.
Yeah, because when it was smart of Nikki to have that address in her purse, and I don't know if she meant to do that or by accident she did it. But when Victor and Victoria and Nick found her purse at home and that address was in there, it didn't mean anything to them, and it was Cole who said,
Cole brought it up.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I recognize that address.
Yeah. Then that put all the pieces of the puzzle together, and then I thought it was interesting how when they were taking Claire out, I mean, she was still, threatening, and yes, I'm not done, and I thought, well, I bet she isn't done, because that's when I realized, she is still alive, so I thought, yeah, they'll bring her back.
They don't want to kill her off because I suppose the writers want to leave options, like you said, to bring her back.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, this whole storyline I thought was something juicy. Something better than just taking over companies and the different characters jumping from one company to another company. At least this had some fighting and some suspense and who's who. Is Claire really who she says she is? And so it was interesting, and kind of bringing up some of the past, bringing that back into the future, because that was a storyline. All these years we thought Cole and Victoria's daughter Eve had died, and now.
Right.
Lo and behold, all these years later, she's alive and Claire.
Right. And the other thing I found interesting is that as everybody was leaving the cabin, Victor and Nikki end up saying, let's bring Claire home. And they, based on what she did for them and the way she reacted to that whole situation,
yes,
they're going to end up, I think, accepting her. At least it looks that way now.
I think, she's proven herself in 2 different scenarios where, when they were all drugged, she realized what was that Aunt Jordan had lied to her. She gave them the antidote. And then this time, Jordan was going to kill Nikki, and Claire stepped in to protect her. And Nikki kind of said that, no, it's because of Claire that I'm okay. So I think so. I think they will too. They'll accept her, but I think Claire will have some issues to work through, mental issues because of her Aunt Jordan.
I think so too. I think so too.
Because you could see how.
All right, let's go.
Okay, I was just going to say, because you could see how Aunt Jordan was demeaning Claire too. Like in those final scenes with the gun. She was really kind of how she was talking down to Nikki. She was talking down to Claire to make her feel less, like
small.
You're stupid. You're small. Yeah. You're stupid. You're small. You're just dependent on me. That kind of thing. So, Claire will have a lot of things to work through.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move into Super Sudsy questions, Luann. The first one for you is, where's the love triangle headed between Christine, Danny, and Phyliss?
Oh, yeah. Because Christine is, it wasn't long ago that she left Paul, and she's already feeling those old feelings for Danny again. And I think, they're both at different places in their lives right now. And I think she'd like to have a part of that. And then you have Phyliss. And Phyliss really wants Danny. And she doesn't, to her, she said Christine is just like a high school girl with her boyfriend again. And Phyliss is like, if he wants a real relationship, he should be with me. And it's like, I agree. Phyliss, there will be drama. And I could tell Danny doesn't like drama.
No, he doesn't. Do you think that Phyliss will play games? I think I know the answer, but
yes. Yeah. Oh, I think she will. I think so she will. Because she was already trying to do that too, and Michael and Lauren were going to be renewing their vows, and then Christine and Danny happened to come into the restaurant, and they were talking, and then Phyliss says, "Well, I'm not by myself," as she happened to see Tucker, and then she puts Tucker in a lip lock and says, "Well, we're going to be, getting together for New Year's Eve," and trying to make Danny jealous. And it's like, I don't think Danny's going to be jealous over that, and especially over Tucker. Yes. Yeah.
And Michael Baldwin and his wife
Lauren
as well, Lauren. Yeah. They all look at her like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah, exactly.
That's I think Tucker must have liked some of that, though, because he texts her later to say, "We could still have that drink."
Yeah, I know. And she looked shocked. She was like, "Oh, darn." It's like, "Oh, my God."
Yeah, just watch. She'll probably end up doing it, too.
Yeah, because he's made that little offer to her. And Summer has pretty much said, "Mom, don't do it." And it wouldn't surprise me, No, not at all. Who knows? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So and you kind of alluded already, but I'm going to ask the question. Is this the end for Crazy Aunt Jordan?
I don't think so. I don't either. I think at different times she'll come back, and somehow she'll escape or something, because she's going to play havoc for Claire, I think. Down the road. Because
I agree.
That was her life. Claire was Aunt Jordan's life.
She spent her whole life on that, yeah.
Yeah, she could control her. And I think Aunt Jordan likes to be controlling of somebody. Yeah. And
I agree.
So I think she'll make reappears, because I think her character was well received too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. And I think what'll happen is she'll end up in a mental facility, because they'll show her as insane at the time that all this stuff occurred, and they will she'll end up getting out of there and then starting to wreak havoc again on the Abbotts. I agree. And Claire. I think she'll go after Claire big time now.
Yeah, and I think it'll be somewhere down the road where we've kind of forgotten about her, and all of a sudden there'll be weird stuff that start happening again. Yeah, and then she'll be back. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree. All right, will the Newmans now accept Claire? And I think you and I think they will. Yes. They've already started, but do you think they will continue to?
I think so.
Welcome her into the fold?
Yeah, I think Victoria and Cole are very much on her side, and they will do whatever they can to help her. And, Victor was a little more suspect about all this going on. And Nikki too, because Nikki's like, she took advantage of me. I hired her. And so I think, they have to get past some of that. But I think they could see that Claire is sincere and that, she had to live with that crazy Aunt Jordan. And they're probably thinking, yeah, you probably, you didn't know anything different. You were believing what you were told.
I mean, think about it. She spent her whole life with this crazy woman. And so she basically grew up as a kid and then as an adult.
Right.
Brainwashed, really.
And, they were all lies, and she was believing them because she had no reason not to believe her aunt.
Right. Yeah, that's right. All right. Will Nikki continue drinking vodka?
I think she's going to have a hard time getting sober. And it wouldn't surprise me if she gets back into AA again. And, because I'm sure, I know Victor will be very supportive of her because he loves her. But Nikki is going to find it very hard. It's like, she was off of it for so long, but
starting over, yeah.
But now it's like, I crave it again, and it's hard for her to let it go. And because of what Aunt Jordan was doing to Nikki, it was really playing with her mind too. And for that reason, I think she needs the vodka to help her numb that, what she was feeling.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. All right. And I agree with everything you said. I think it's going to be a battle for her, and that she's going to, have to go through AA and treatment probably again. Is it over for Tucker?
Oh, never say never.
Or will he still get his revenge on the Abbotts?
He's like, good luck with that, Tucker. I don't know. He always is threatening, and he always has this going on, but then it never happens. I think he, because he and Ashley had it out again yesterday, and he just kind of threw up his hands. It's like, I'm out of here. And, and Devon and he are on, kind of on the outs too. And, it'll be interesting to see what he does with what Kyle brings him, because Kyle and Jack, it's not their high level perfume that's a new addition that's coming out, but they said, let's give Tucker something that he thinks is going to be good. So is Tucker onto this kind of, where he's suspect of them providing something, or is he going to take the hook and go with it? I don't know. We'll see. Because I don't think he trusts Kyle completely, and if he does,
no.
So they were doing some good storylines with Tucker, and I hope they give him some more good ones, because it would be neat to see him do something, against the Abbotts, but I don't know if he has it in him to do that.
Yeah, he's a good character, and I mean, I like that character, and I like the actor that plays the character. He's good. I actually like him better once I got used to him than I did the old Tucker.
Yes. Yeah.
This guy's a better actor, and he kind of fits the image better of what they're trying to portray there.
Because I would really like to see he and Audra put some really good things together, really sneaky things, or to be kind of the bad guys like they first came on, when their characters were introduced. I mean, they were, it was kind of like, whoa, what are they going to be, trying to overtake, or, this or that. And so far, nothing's really happened. It's all a lot of talk.
It is. And I think, Luann, I think Tucker and Audra are actually going to become romantic, more romantically involved
than what they are.
And they're going to team up to go after the Abbotts, because she's lost everything too. She's got no other options at this point.
Right, exactly. And I know she's not real happy at Newman, because they're not fully utilizing her there, and she always feels like she
thinks she should be at the top, always.
Yeah, and she feels the pressure that Nikki keeps her kind of under her thumb. Doesn't really let her expand.
Doesn't trust her.
Doesn't trust her. Yeah, that's a lot of it. She doesn't trust her.
Yeah. All right, that's all I've got.
Yeah, and
any
the
final
only
thoughts or comments?
Yes, I have.
Luann?
I think there's going to be another, not threesome, but the Daniel Lily
triangle.
Love triangle. That's what it is. Because it wasn't a threesome; it's a love triangle. A
threesome is a totally different thing, Luann.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's like we're not going there. But between Daniel, Daniel, Heather, and Lily.
Oh yeah.
There's something going to happen there.
That's good. I'm actually glad you brought that up because we only have so much time, so we didn't really cover that storyline. But I like that storyline, and she's what's his ex-wife's name?
Heather.
Heather's definitely moving in on.
Oh yes. She's making the moves.
Lily's gone out of town, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I kind of fully expected when she fell asleep on his couch while they were watching movies on his lap too.
Yeah, I know.
And I was 99.9% sure that Lily was going to walk in and catch him, but it didn't happen.
It didn't happen, and then I thought it
still will, but it'll be a different circumstance.
Exactly. And then it was interesting how Lucy woke up, their daughter, and then she took a picture of them, and I thought, oh, that picture might be used someday.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Against something. And then the other thing, I thought it was interesting how when they both, Daniel woke up, and then he woke up Heather, and then she kissed him, and he was kissing her right back, and I thought, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Well, I like that one. Let's see where that story goes. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good. I think that will be a good triangle, and then to see what does it do to Lily and Daniel's relationship. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I had forgotten about the photograph, but I think you're right. Can't you just see her I don't know, sending that to or posting it on social media or something. And then Lily sees it while she's gone?
I know. Ooh. That won't be good. And Lucy, I don't think she will do it. To hurt Lily
Not
intentionally. No, because she likes Lily, but Lucy likes having her mom and dad back together too. Yeah,
most kids would.
Yes,
yeah.
Right.
Unless it's really, really bad,
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other final thoughts, Luann?
No, we've had a whole year of Young and the Restless, and I've enjoyed being here on the podcast here with you because we just started up this year, I think, doing it.
Was it? Okay, I didn't remember. I know it's been about a year, probably.
Yeah.
It's probably been over a year. You're probably right.
Yeah. So we both enjoy watching it, and it's fun talking about Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful when I've had to help out when Terry couldn't. And just want to wish all of our viewers and listeners a very happy New Year and happy 2024.
Yep, thank you, Luann. That's good sentiment, and I agree with everything. I wish everybody a happy New Year, and hopefully 24 brings some peace and love for everyone.
Mm-hmm, I agree. So I'll see you next year.
All right, sounds good. Until we dish again.
Bye.
Keep it sudsy. We're out.